We have been exploring Metatron's cube, this temporary encasement which has been binding consciousness to geometric configurations designed to hold a soul within its false matrix. Blanketed with such a dense overlay, Earth and all of humanity has spun on the cycle of birth and death in order to maintain a consistent energy supply for the entities who maintain this system. The 0 point has been put on lockdown through a complex system of toroidal compression fields held together through the Merkaba hex and chakra kundalini implants. It's then no wonder that Metatron is an anagram for torment, because it's through Metatron's cube that we find ourselves in and around physical substance that ebbs and flows. In my last video, we talked about the vesica piscis. This is the bi-wave distortion brought into this reality through the metatronic fields that gradually came up with a system of extreme polarity, inserting that code into the consciousness which the metatronic system ensnared. Therefore, the original architecture of reality of the true Earth, which was once less dense and full of incredible life, became reversed and locked into a self-consuming field of distortion. This fall of man, this implementation of the overlay, is synonymous with the tales of ancient genetic engineering. In this altered state of turmoil, our fear gave the Metatronic system the consent to use that fear to create frequency fences. Our energy was broadcasted to create a net and produced a predator mind construct intended for mass human parasitism. Confusion circulated. These artificial nets and constructs were further designed to progressively pull the Earth and everything within it into further inorganic entrapments. The moon appeared in the sky and began to reinforce this grid. Cycles began, and any remaining DNA of Earth that was silica-based mutated rapidly into carbon. After all, nothing can remain eternal under the moon. Carbon comes from the Latin carbo, meaning coal or charcoal, because it burns easily. It's fallible. And the same way we can put charcoal in our fires to warm us up, the various entities who uphold the energy extraction matrix use our carbon suits as a means to warm themselves up. A cycle is a perpetual circulating period of time, on the completion of which certain phenomena return in the same order. Cycles are loops. They are not natural. They hold this realm and everything in it hostage to time, which is a creation of the Metatronic overlay. I described in my video on the chakra overlays how our endocrine system is a part of this matrix, that our internal organs and glands bind us to restraint through necessity. After the genetic altering of our avatars, humans found themselves now requiring food to eat, water to drink, air to breathe. It was compulsory now to maintain our bodies through focusing on density. One might hear all of this and ask the question, if we were once in a more paradisal state, free from cyclical time, how could such a hijacking of our nature occur? The simple answer is, It had never been done before. We did not know what a lie was. We did not know what deception looked or felt like. In the quintessential tale of the fall, Adam and Eve were deceived for the first time by the serpent. Before this, they did not know good and evil. Dualism was not in the collective repertoire. The virus upheld a type of binary, rigid, domineering consciousness that had not yet been experienced, so we couldn't identify it as a threat before it was too late. After the inversion, the original world collapsed. More genetic experimentation was performed to further fragment humanity, aiming to distance us from tapping into our true creative potential. The brain was divided into two hemispheres. Artificial electromagnetic energy waves we know as ley lines were set up on the Earth, reinforced through pyramids, churches, and monolith structures. And in time, we submitted ourselves to the master-slave paradigm through genocide and various means of deception to further lull us into a state of forgetfulness and thus submission. We have been severed into 7 levels of perception. This is the security system of the Metatronic overlay. 7 layers of the aura, 7 chakras, 7 glands of the endocrine system, 7 states of matter, 7 colors of the rainbow, 7 notes of the musical scale, and 7 planets. What we call planets are nets. They are the plan to net us all in this overlay. There are 7 reinforcers to this overlay system above us, which energetically keep everything moving in cycles and according to fate, which really means fatality. This system is held by Saturn, also known as Satan or Father Time. This is the lord of the Metatronic system. This is why Saturn is at the top of the ancient depictions of these spheres of influence. An urn is a vase that holds cremated ashes. The name is revealing to us Saturn sits on the urn of the overlay, acting as the lord of discipline and karma. Discipline and karma. Why would we require discipline and resolution of karma? What did we do to deserve such discipline? And who is penalizing us? After realizing this situation for what it is, how can any force deem humans as the wrongdoers who need to correct their ways? Well, karma and discipline are the patriarchal orders of the caretakers of the energy extraction matrix. Humans have been told that birth and death are necessary in order to work out issues and become perfected. But if samsara itself was introduced after the parasite's invasion, then what are we working out? Nothing. The karma soul recycling system has been a farce, a false-like trap designed to maintain the Metatronic overlay. We call this system the Saturn-Moon Matrix because it begins with the Moon and ends with Saturn.